Good afternoon. These I still remain Biodun, the anchor of Catfish Solution place. This evening, I will take you through the natural way of treating your water. That means if you have a high, that means you have an acidic water or an alkaline water. The method of treating it than using a chemical. In my previous video, there's a video I showed you on how to use bicarbonate of regulating your water if your water is low. That means when the acid in your water is too low. And the function of this is that when your water is low, your fishes started dying. Then when your water is acidic, your fishes started dying. It happens to a lot of people, lot of breeders, even me. It happens to me. But there's a way out. We can control that in an organic way and an inorganic way. Sometimes the symptom you notice is that when your fishes sometimes do bring up their heads vertically, that means there's a problem with the water. Or when your fishes start jumping in your water, that starts behaving periodically in your water. That means rotating, jumping. That means there's a problem. The water is not okay and conducive for them. So this evening, I'm going to take you through a natural way. We can call it a natural way. That means an organic way of treating your water when your pH is low or high. So this is what I do. There is a organic material I will be introducing to you, and I've been using it in my pond and in my storage tank. The organic material is this is the organic material I'm using to treat my water. This is a crushed oyster shell. As many people knows the effect and the importance of an oyster shell. So I'll be using it as a treatment to control the pH, that means the acidic level and the alkaline level of my water. Look, the most important thing I enjoy about oyster shell is that it works himself non-stop. That means if your pH is low, around, let me give you an instance, I have a very low pH at present because of the rain, and the level of water in my location is somehow very bad. So by the time I check, this water is coming from the storage tank, and the storage tank, this water has been coming from the storage tank, and the storage tank, and I've put the water there since morning, so that the water has been there for over 12 hours now. Let me check what I will get from the water, because I notice the pH is low, and I know the pH will still always be low. So by the time this is a pH liquid uh, kit. So you can also get it. It's very important from any breeder or any fish farmer to have it in their farm. This is the level on the pH reader. You can see a label there that will tell you the percentage and the level of your water. When it is totally red, that means from 0 to 4. That means it is highly acidic. But coming to 4.5 to 6.5, that means it's still normal. That means your fish can still retain and can still be in that water for some time if you are running a constant flow through for your fishes. But from 6.5 to 8 is green. That means it's natural. That means the water is perfectly okay. But when it comes from 9 to 14, that means it's alkaline. That means it is not okay and conducive for them. But there's a method we can all control this in a natural way. Now I will be testing my water from the storage tank that have been there for like 12 hours. So by the time you check this water, you can see that it is danger. The water is danger. The water is about 1%. That means about 1. 1 is very acidic. I will tell you the truth. There's no water, there's no fish that can sustain in an environment of such. So one, we need to treat it if you still want to maintain and retain in the business of catfish farming or catfish breeding. So I just take it off. Now I'm adding some little drop of this oyster shell into the water. So you can see I've added some little drop of it inside the water. Now I want to test the water. So by the time I'm testing this water now, and I'm putting some drop into it. So this is where the experiment starts happening. Now I'm covering it. So you can see I just put it in a second and the water level has changed from 1 to, you can see yourself, I've changed from 1 to 5. From 1 to 5 because I just put it now, so I'm leaving it. So the good thing about the natural source of doing it is that by the time you leave it, it started changing himself. That means it started controlling the water himself. It started boosting the water up. So by the time you notice the water is highly boosted, you can introduce some of the acidic water to it to neutralize it. So I'm putting it down. So let me just keep it here. So let's start our training. So this is what I do to my ponds. This is what I just did to a pond. This is the oyster shell put inside a wrap stack, and I use a thread, that means a twine, to wrap it up so that it can control the water inside the tank, and it is gone. So there it will be controlling the water inside the tank. This is how it happens. But you can get a sack in your house, a sack that you can see that they are little perforated. That means what you put inside, by the time you introduce into the water, can change into the water, can mix with the water. You can see this kind of a sack is perforated. You cannot use any other sack than this. Some sacks are very, very thick, like Dangote sack, and so they are very, very thick. This one can easily dilute your water. So you now put some quantity of an oyster shell inside, and you wrap it up. So the next thing to do is to get the twine. So when you got the twine, you cut it off. Why I'm using a twine is that the durability strength is higher. They don't get easily spoiled or easily caught inside the water. They have time to retain the strength inside water. So I'm looking at the size of the pond. That means the pond is 4 feet. So I'm getting 4 feet so that by the time I put it inside water, it will go down. Then I cut it off. So I'm wrapping it now. For the pond introduction. So let me just put it inside this pond or any other pond. Yes. Okay, let me just put it inside here. Okay, let me put it inside here. So by the time I introduce it inside this pond, and I will now tie it. For it to be controlling my water. So I now checked it so that it can mix. It can easily mix with the pond water. Note, it doesn't kill fishes. So let us check. So you can see from the little time that I've been talking to you for about let me say 2 minutes till now, the water is being changed to you can see yourself, this is changed to 6. So that means the water continue changes, it continue changes, it continue changes, it continue changes. So by the time I will leave it for some time, it will go to the natural level. So I just want to use that to test the water in this pond. I said before, the water is very low. It's about 1. So now let's see what we got here. So you can see what we have here. That means the water is changing gradually to what we are looking for to retain our water. And there is a I want to check. I'm checking back the water. I just put the oyster shell now to see what I'm getting there. You can see it's almost about 6 going to 7. Let me put it down here. So the other things you do is that you need to introduce it to your storage tank. The essence of introducing it to your storage tank is that the water that you will be releasing to your pond should be from your storage tank, and it has to be changed from your storage tank. That means the pH level has to be changed from your storage tank to your pond. The importance of this is that, let me give you an instance. This may not really work well. Why it may not work is that when this is in the water, when I'm changing the water in the morning, by the time I'm releasing a water of 1% into the fishes, by the time the water gets to the fishes, they start manufacturing. So I don't want that to happen. So I have to introduce the same natural source into the tank. So by the time I introduce it into the tank, the water that will be coming to the fishes will be naturalized. So that is what we are going to do now. This is the quantity of an oyster shell I'm introducing to this tank. This tank is about 75 liters keg, and the oyster shell here is about 8 kg. So I will be introducing an 8 kg into the tank. So what I will do is that I'm going to tie all this. Being tied, so it is going. So now it will be going up to the water, to the tank. Sorry, I may not do that because I'm almost about 100 kg, and I don't want to fall down from the overhead stuff. So now we are introducing it gradually to the inside the storage tank. Now it's okay. So then it's trying to cover up the tank as required. So I think we can give hands to this as an effective and an experimental way of curbing out most of the problems we're having in the industry. There's a way that we need to do things so that everything can be accordant, so that in every season we can produce. As a breeder, in every season you can produce once you try to get the things you are doing right. Sometimes I do tell people in trainings, you do this, you do that, but some people don't really believe in what you tell them. That is why I'm showing you. You can imagine some farmers don't even have a test kit. Why will you? Don't you have a test kit? How much do they sell a test kit to know the problem of your water? Since we know the only source of our fish is water. If there is no water, there is no fish. So now, I'm still checking now what I'm getting from the pH. As you can see, it has been here now for like 3 minutes, and check now that the pH reading is telling me is green. It's 7%. That means it's totally natural. So by the time you still leave it, it will be controlling and controlling and controlling till you get a perfect level for your conducive for the convenience of your fishes. So now I've introduced the sack into the storage tank, and it's about, let's say, 1 minute now that I have just done that. So but what I want to do, this is still the sample of the crushed shells. As you can see, you can use the uncrushed one. Let me see if I can get it from some points here. You can still use the uncrushed one, but when you are using the uncrushed ones, this is the sample of the uncrushed one. You can also put this inside your tank to control your water. You can also put it inside the pond, that means your incubator, to control the pH and the other source of your water. But why I'm using the crushed one is that it works more faster and more rapidly. You can see the result very, very fast. The good thing about using the natural source of treating your pond is that it does treat every parameters of your water. What I mean by every parameters of your water is that all the nitrogen cycles of your water, the natural source treated them. That means the KH and the GH and the pH, they treat them all. So this is an example of the uncrushed one, and you have seen a sample of the crushed one. So now I'm trying now to test for the water. I'm trying to test the water. As you can see, this is still the leftover that is being changed. That means it's changing himself. Gradually it's changing himself. Gradually it's changing himself. So by the time it's getting to blue, I will now introduce back the water so that you can get a normal pH. I'm just doing this test because it's too early to check for that, but I just want to try to do it to see what we are getting now. You can see because we just introduced it, that means before it's totally red, but now it has come to like 2. It's still red, that means it's still acidic. But since we just introduced the oyster shell inside the tank, it will be controlling the water gradually as required to the percentage of what I'm looking at. So let me just put it down a little bit. As you can see, that from that one is even changing himself because it's still working. Now it has come to, you can check, it has come to 4. You can see where it is now that it has come to 4. It's not totally red now. It has come to 4. That means it's totally changing himself from the storage system. You can see. out there. So now let's talk. The essence and the importance